chakras below the root versus chakras above the crown.
Okay. Yeah, so the chakras below the root are going to connect you more into an experience of lower intelligence and creative energy. And the chakras above the head are going to have higher intelligence with the creative energy. So all the chakras are a combination of energy and intelligence. And in fact, every form is a combination of energy and intelligence. When we go into these higher chakras, it's just going to be a greater unity consciousness understanding with its creative energy. And as we go below the root into lower chakras, it's going to be more basic in its understanding. And it's going to have more separation oftentimes. The easiest way to explain the specific chakras below you and above you are going to say that the ones below you give you more creative energy. And it's a feeling of the energy that comes through me as a separate creator. So some people will draw energy up from the lower chakras, and it gives them more creative power that they can direct and use with their personal mind. And if we connect to the chakras above our head, we feel like we're being guided. It's more of a universal mind, a unity state that's then directing our energy and our expression. To create from the chakras above the head works with a type of frequency that brings things into harmony, right? It's this unity consciousness, so it helps to align things together. The chakras beneath our feet are usually more about personal power and personal will, but it's not negative. This is important to understand as well. Unity is not better than separation. We have to understand everything's manifest in the mind of God. So if it appears as unity or it appears as separation, it's still the one God creating it. We have to really get over our own ideas of bias and how we separate the forms. It's going to appear like a separate way of thinking, or it's going to appear like a unified way of thinking, and it's all a way of thinking. It's all God's energy. And if I use unified thinking, I'm going to get certain experiences, and maybe I want those experiences. And if I use more separation thinking, I'll get other experiences, and maybe I want those experiences. I think the number one problem in spirituality is that we separate things into this category of good or bad. And I think that creates a lot of confusion and suffering in ourselves. So the lower we go in our vibration, the more it becomes an individual thing. And the higher we go, the more it becomes a holistic thing. And the frequency that we feel is relative to that. And you can choose. You can choose. Along this process of waking up, we realize that the greater understanding is how do I embrace everything, right? It's not about choosing high and being against low. It's not about trying to manipulate this lower chakra and pull energy out of it and pull wisdom down from this higher chakra. It's more about how do I integrate everything, letting it be what it is and letting it all work together in myself. There's too often in chakra work, we think I have to awaken my third eye, or this is the most important chakra. And that's not true. The whole psyche is built from this chakra system. The whole universe is built from these frequencies of energy. They're all necessary. If you take one color out of white light, it ceases to be white light. Right? All these individual colors create the whole. Can we understand they're all one? They're all part of God. Can we get beyond just the concepts of unity into an experience that everything is actually unity? Mm-hmm.
But then it's very important that they are all connected, the upper ones and the under ones. Otherwise, there's not a connection.
Yeah, definitely. They all have to be connected. And so we can appreciate all the different qualities that they add. Yeah. In my own journey, I mean, I've learned about chakras by how I perceive them. I think I may have mentioned this before in a previous interview with you. I've never read a book on chakras and never taken a course on chakras. I've had conversations about them, but a lot of things I learned are just from perceiving life. Yeah. For me, your chakras are just your system of emotional energy and your personal intelligence. And if you try to cut off a part of your personality, a part of your intelligence, you're not going to have all of it to access. You're not going to benefit in the greatest ways. Yeah, so for me, focus on being a good human being. Focus on these virtuous qualities of honesty and compassion and peace and love. And you're going to find that your chakras get really bright and really colorful and really happy. And you don't have to try to micromanage all these different things that oftentimes you can't see and you can't feel anyway. So why even trying to work with it?
Then we come back again with what we started.
Yeah, just be
Be
a good
aware of
person.
what we see, what we feel, and what we live here.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
to look everywhere, what if we don't count,
No, yeah. The non-physical exists, and when it's time for you to see it, you'll see it.
You'll see
It's
it.
like with me and channeling. Yeah, I never tried to become a channel. I didn't know there was such a thing as the higher self until it started telling me, what we call ourselves the higher self. Because I asked what its name was. Like, what's going on? What's happening to me? Yeah, and so for me, I never like tried to get any things to happen. I just tried to live the best life I could. I
Mm.
tried to be happy and peaceful, and I wanted a quiet mind because I saw the value of it. I wanted a simple life because I saw how important it was to make life simple, because then you can get all your goals done. Then you cannot feel pressured and stressed and rushed. I saw how valuable it was just to live my life the way I wanted to live it and not go after everything that everybody else was telling me was out there. And then automatically things came into my life that I really enjoyed. So I became psychic. I became a channel. I became healing with my hands. I created businesses. I've had wonderful relationships. All of these things just happened as I was just practicing living a good human life and trying to be my best self. I think sometimes we miss the point. It's just about being a good human being. It's not about thinking like, if I awaken the 8th chakra, then I'll be happy. It's like, no, happiness is a
I
choice.
awake the
You
second
know?
chakra. I will be in
Yeah.
person now. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's like a
We
combination
think
of
way too much about information. That's part of the problem with this whole human experience right now. Everyone's listening to the information and not engaging in the reality. Right? If a concept makes you feel afraid, like maybe you need to find some other concepts to focus on. Right? If you want to be healthy, then learn what health is instead of focusing on illness, because illness is going to cause you stress and it's going to weaken your immune system and you're going to get sick.